A lot of my Lego city's gonna be raised, so I got some bricks from Bricklink and it turned out that green bricks are pretty economical. So first of all, I'm building a lot of towers to hold up that section of the city. The city's going to be built on standard 16 by 16 plates, including the new road system, so I was careful to measure those out to check I got the spacing exactly right, and I can build all of the raised sections so the plates are supported properly on top. Now my baseboard's made of lots of 48 stud base plates stuck on a piece of plywood. It's 3 of those plates wide, but I had to cut some of them in half because the plywood is only 2 feet deep. And that means I get an 8 by 16 plate just at the back to fill in the gap and take it to the edge of the wood. I actually really like the new Lego road system because everything's on 16 by 16 and 8 by 16 plates, and that helps build the city in a really modular way. So I'm just placing some roads down there to see how it's going to look. I thought I'd come back though and move a couple of bricks around to connect some of those supports together just to make that structure a bit stronger. I just put in some extra bricks there to get the spacing just right so everything works out. And since there's a join between 2 plates along the back, it seems sensible to put some 1 by 16 Technic bricks in there that I happen to have, just to support that seam line, and they fit nicely in of course because everything's spaced on 16 studs. And that pattern just continues along to support all of the plates that are going to have buildings and all sorts of other features on them. On one side, the raised section is going to come right to the front of the board, and eventually that's actually going to be a place where 2 railway lines run under. And the reason there's 2 is usually you have a railway line going in each direction, just like in real life. I'm using the Lego City passenger train 60197, and that's going to pass just nicely under a railway tunnel with a bridge and some roads going over it. I need to support these sections over the railway line, and that's longer than 16 studs, so I connected together several Technic bricks to make several long reach pieces which are going to support the plates on top. Just testing there with the passenger train again, and that seems to clear just fine, and that's the case for both tracks on my railway line. The raised section is going to come forward by another 16 stud plate. These supports though are going to make tunnels under arches under the city, so I'm building recesses here out of dark bluish grey standard 2x4 and 2x2 bricks. There are 3 of those in total, which will make 3 archways in the main city wall, and I'll have various feature pieces displayed in each one. As the front of these archways are going to support 16 by 16 road plates, I'm just putting an edge in the front made of 1 by 16 bricks. Before I start putting the plates on top, it's probably time to sort out the railway line since that runs under some of the raised section. I'm ballasting all my railway line on plates, and that's partly so we can get a curve in later modules, otherwise it will just be stuck down and the curved pieces won't fit, and also just to give a feature around that railway line, a bit like ballast on a real railway line. There's quite a lot of plates required to do the whole railway line, so you'll notice I've used 2x4s and only stuck them where they can be seen after the railway track is fitted down, and that was the most economical way to do it. And I'm using reddish brown plates here because those were the most economical. It looks like straight brown plates are quite hard to come by. So that's come out pretty satisfactory. You can't really tell that there's gaps under all the existing sleepers on the track, so I'm pretty happy with the look and feel. With the railway track in place, it's now time to place the road plates, which run all the way from left to right. There'll be a couple of junctions where I stuck those plates earlier on, and it'll come all the way across the railway line over the railway bridge. But before we can place those properly, it's time to build the main city wall, which I've been experimenting with for a while, and you can check out some of the experiments on my Instagram page. So I'm using light bluish grey bricks as well as some modified bricks here, so we can put a pattern around the archways. I've used two separate archways here with some plates in between to make them reach across the gap, and some more modified bricks are fitted which will eventually hold features around the archway. These are tied on nicely to the struts above, and we can then just go and fill in some more modified bricks and brick along the top. And that should bring everything up nicely to the same height as those 1x16 bricks, which is going to be the edge of the plate on top. I'm going to continue that pattern all the way across, and that will eventually leave us with 3 arches. So now that's all at the right height, we can continue with our masonry pattern brick wall, which is going to run all the way along the top to stop the people of the Lego city just falling off. As well as the plates underneath the wall, I'm also putting smooth tiles on top just to give that a nice finish and hold all of those brick columns together. Now we can get to the features around those archways, which were lots of 2x1s and 1x1 plates just arranged there on the modified bricks to give us a nice satisfactory pattern. And those are our 3 arches and the completed city wall, and as I say, there's going to be various features in there, lots of business going on and various other displays. I made a railway tunnel which I really wanted to do in the same way with the same pattern around the archways. However, in order to get clearance for the train, I'd have to bring the whole city up by 1 to 2 bricks and still get that pattern around with the spacing before the wall. So for now I've just left it looking more like an industrial railway tunnel in dark bluish grey bricks. Now the city wall and the railway tunnel is dealt with, we can finally install the road plates in the right configuration, moving all of those stamped bricks for the white dotted line down the middle into place to make the junctions. The rest of the road section will be filled in with standard plates for now, where buildings and other features will be built. I've decided to bring all of that up by 1 plate to match the height of the road plate, which is 2 plates thick. For now these plates are white and also dark tan because that's what I had or they were readily available. Eventually some of these will be swapped for green areas and different colours for the bases of buildings and various other features in the city. For now though, I've filled everything in and hopefully you can get an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. Now all those plates are at the same height as my road plates, when I come and install tiles to make the pavements, we actually get a step up to make the curb, rather than everything being on the same level or a step down. Eventually I'll have a custom lighting system for the city, but for now I've just stuffed some LED lights in those tunnels and made up a couple of scenes as examples of what I'll have in the future. In Tunnel 1 there's some high-vis guys who look like they should be busy, but they're actually on their lunch break. We've got some dudes having a band practice, and hopefully I'll have more musicians in the city. And 2 guys with $100 and a shovel. I'm not really sure what they're up to, but we don't need to worry, because there's going to be a big police presence and I've got some more sets to unbox which I'll be making separate videos about. I already have quite a few vehicles for the city, and you can check those unboxing and build videos out in my channel right now. So don't forget to subscribe and check back and see the next stage of the LEGO City build, which is probably likely to be buildings and also some scenery and foliage. Also be sure to check out my ocean exploration coral reef build, which is in my channel, featuring real waters and various off-the-shelf sets. I'm going to be putting more ocean stuff into my city in the future, but that'll be coming up in another module.